15 highest mountains in the United States. When it comes to big mountains, the United States has plenty. Nowhere else can you drive from sea level to a 20,000-foot Arctic peak, day hike to a 45,000-foot peak, and see volcanoes, all within one border. The highest mountains in the United States are located primarily in just 3 states: Alaska, Colorado, and California. Without further ado, here are the 15 highest mountains in the United States. 1. Denali, 20.310 feet /6.190 m. Denali, also known as Mount McKinley, is the tallest mountain in the United States. Located in Denali National Park in Alaska, the mountain is the third most isolated peak on Earth after Mount Everest and Aconcagua. Denali's official summit is 20,310 feet, 6,190 meters. However, the mountain's height has been measured many times, and some measurements suggest it is higher than the widely accepted figure. It is one of 7 peaks. This is a popular destination for climbers, with around 1,200 people attempting to conquer it each year. It is considered the most physically challenging of the 7 summits because of the amount of pack you have to carry the entire way. Climbers have to carry 32 kilograms on their backs and pull another 32 kilograms on sleds. There are no porters, yaks, or mules to help ease the burden. The success rate is only about 50%. The name Denali means tall one in the Athabascan language. 2. Mount St. Elias, 18,008 feet /5 for 89 m. Mount St. Elias is located on the border between Alaska and the Yukon Territory in Canada. It is part of the St. Elias Range. The mountain has huge ice fields and glaciers, some of the largest in North America. It combines the scale of the Himalayas with Alaskan weather. Climbers feel more isolated here than on Denali, despite its lower altitude. The mountain is steeped in history, having been named after the biblical prophet Elias by Russian explorer Vitus Bering in 1741. The Duke of Abruzzi was the first to conquer the mountain in 1897 after 8 attempts. 3. Mount Farquhar, 17,400 feet /5, 304 m. Located in the Alaska Range, Mount Farquhar is the 3rd highest peak in the United States. It is often referred to as Denali's sister peak, as it lies just 14 miles southwest of Denali in the Alaska Range. It is named after Joseph B. Farquhar, an Ohio senator who championed the creation of Mount McKinley National Park. The mountain has rugged terrain, jagged peaks, and challenging climbing routes. The Sultana Ridge presents climbing groups with a treacherous 5,000-foot ascent over razor-sharp snow. Farquhar requires better route finding than Denali and feels remote despite being only 14 miles away. For Mount Bona, 16,550 feet /5, 044 m. Mount Bona is located in the St. Elias Mountains in southeastern Alaska. Known for its enormous size, Mount Bona is 25 miles, 40 kilometers, in diameter at its base and covers an area of over 7,000 square miles, 17,000 square kilometers. Mount Bona was named by the Duke of Abruzzi, who saw the peak when he first climbed Mount St. Elias and named it after his racing yacht. The geology of the mountain includes rocks that are more than 300 million years old. Mount Bona is the 4th tallest volcano in the world. It is also one of the largest volcanoes in the world and is considered to be active. It is made up of layers of volcanic ash, lava, and rock. Bona is ideal for skiers looking to tackle volcanoes like Mount Hood, but before they tackle Denali, it's vast, cold, and deserted. Teams pull sleds to a high camp, then climb the vast North Ridge to crater. 5. Mount Blackburn, 16,390 feet /4, 996 m. Mount Blackburn is part of the Wrangell Mountains in Alaska. It has one of the largest ice falls in North America that cascades from its summit. The mountain is also home to several glaciers, including the 20-mile-long Kennecott Glacier. If you can stomach the airstrip and the maze of crevasses, Blackburn offers some of the best aerial views of the Wrangell Mountains. The mountain range is named after Joseph Clay Stiles Blackburn, a senator from Kentucky who supported the creation of the park. 6. Mount Sanford, 16,237 feet /4, 949 m. Mount Sanford is the 6th highest mountain in the United States. It is a shield volcano located in the Wrangell Volcanic Field in eastern Alaska near the Copper River. Mount Sanford is known for its unique geology, including a huge caldera that is more than 6 miles, about 10 kilometers, in diameter. Today, climbers soar to 7,000 feet, about 2,100 meters, on Sheep Glacier, climbing through moderate snow and weaving through crevasses. Technically simple but logistically complex, Sanford is the perfect peak challenge for strong ice climbers. The mountain was named in 1885 by Lieutenant Henry T. Allen of the United States Army after the Sanford family. The mountain was first climbed in 1938 by two American climbers, Terrace Moore and Bradford Washburn. 7. Nui Fairweather, 15.325 feet /4.671 m. Mount Fairweather straddles the border between Alaska and British Columbia in Canada. It is the highest peak in British Columbia, although most of the mountain is in Alaska. The summit is only 12 miles, 19 kilometers from the Pacific Ocean. Clear days offer panoramic views of the Pacific, but most teams wait out the week-long storms in their snow caves. If you catch the good weather, Fairweather offers perhaps the most spectacular ocean-to-mountain views in North America, as its name suggests. The mountain range was named by Captain James Cook, who saw the peak in 1778 while sailing in the bay in fine weather. He was impressed by its beauty and symmetry. 8. Mount Hubbard, 14,950 feet /557 m. Mount Hubbard is a majestic mountain that straddles the border between the United States and Canada in Alaska's St. Elias Range. It has 3 separate peaks, with the highest peak located on the Canadian side of the border. It is also considered one of the most difficult mountains to climb in North America due to its steepness and unpredictable weather conditions. Hubbard feels like standing on the bow of a frozen aircraft carrier. The ridge is narrow, open, and unforgettable. Hubbard Mountain is also the site of several scientific studies, including those on glaciology and climate change. The mountain range is named after Gardner Greene Hubbard, the first president of the National Geographic Society. 9. Bear Mountain, 14,831 ft /520 m. Bear Mountain is a massive mountain peak located in the St. Elias Mountains, on the border between Alaska and the Yukon Territory, Canada. One of the unique features of Bear Mountain is its location. It sits at the intersection of 3 major mountain ranges, giving it a distinctive appearance. It is also home to several glaciers, including Bear Glacier, one of the largest glaciers in North America. So remote and little visited, you'll likely be signing up for an empty climbing log for years. Expeditions fly to Barnard Glacier, ski 8 miles to a 10,000-foot base camp, then climb the 40-degree Fahrenheit snow to a pinnacle. The mountain is named after the expedition of William Wallace Atwood, who explored the area in 1912. 10. Mount Hunter, 14,573 feet /442 m. Mount Hunter is a prominent peak in the Alaska Range, located within Denali National Park and Preserve. It is the 3rd highest peak in the Alaska Range after Denali and Mount Farquhar. The mountain has steep terrain, making it a popular destination for ice climbing and alpine climbing. The mountain has many challenging routes. The famous West Ridge is technically demanding and is considered one of the most difficult climbs in North America. Pound for pound, Hunter may be Alaska's most difficult peak, shorter than Denali but technically in a different league. The peak was named after Robert Hunter, an early explorer of the area, in 1903. It was first conquered by a group of 4 American climbers in 1954, including Bradford Washburn, who later became a famous climber and photographer. 11. Mount Whitney, 14,505 feet /421 m. Mount Whitney is the highest peak in the continental United States and is the highest mountain peak rank 11 in the United States. It is in the Range Sierra Nevada in eastern California. Mount Whitney has a rich history and is considered sacred by the indigenous people of the area. The mountain was first climbed in 1873 by a group of 4, led by Charles Bigot, and has since become a popular destination for hikers and climbers from around the world. A well-maintained trail, clear signage, and a lack of glacier danger make reaching the summit an easy 35 kilometers day trip. It's a dream hike. The peak is named after Josiah Whitney, the state geologist of California, and is located in the John Muir Wilderness. Whitney Gate, near the town of Lone Pine, is the gateway to the main hiking route to the summit. 12. Alvarez Stone Mountain, 14,500 feet /420 m. The highest mountain 12 in the United States takes us back to Alaska. Mount Alvarez Stone is a majestic mountain that straddles the border between Alaska and Canada. It is part of the St. Elias Range and forms the highest point on the Alaska-British Columbia border. The mountain is located within the world's largest non-polar ice field, the Bagley Ice Field, which spans over 1,270 square miles. The peak is named after the Anglican Bishop of Victoria, Charles James Stewart, who also went by the name Alvarez Stone. The mountain was first climbed in 1906 by a team of 4 led by American philanthropist and mountaineer Dora Keene. 13. University Peak, 14,470 feet /410 m. University Peak is located in the St. Elias Mountains of Alaska. It can be considered a southern outcrop of the massive Bona Massif. It is famous for its rugged and dramatic terrain, with steep cliffs and deep valleys. The peak is a hidden gem for snow enthusiasts. steep Alaskan corners at altitudes close to the Andes. The mountain was named by Terrace Moore, president of the University of Alaska. He wrote, "I hereby declare, based on previous discoveries, the naming of two peaks approximately 5 and 10 miles west-southwest of Mount Bona. I have notified the Board of Trustees of my intention to designate one of these peaks as University Peak for the University of Alaska." The first ascent of University Peak took place in 1955, led by American climber Keith Hart. 14. Mount Elbert, 14,440 feet/4, 401m. Located in Colorado, Mount Elbert is the highest peak of the Rocky Mountains. It is located in the Sawatch Range in central Colorado, near the town of Leadville. Mount Elbert has glacial cirques that were formed during the last ice age. These cirques are bowl-shaped depressions on a mountainside and are filled with snow and ice year-round. Conquering Mount Elbert is a day trip that offers a great experience for a minimal cost. The starting point is just 20 minutes from Leadville on a paved dirt road, and no permits are required. Elbert proves that the highest peak doesn't always mean the most difficult. Most hikers can summit the mountain in a single morning. The mountain was named after Samuel Hitt Elbert, governor of Colorado in the late 1800s. The mountain was officially named in his honor in 1873, although Native Americans and early explorers had known about it long before that. 15. Mount Massive, 14,428 feet/4,398 m. Mount Massive is the second highest peak in the Rocky Mountains and the third highest peak in the continental United States. Its name comes from its impressive size. It covers an area of over 340 square miles, 875 square kilometers, and has a summit plateau of about 5 square miles, 12 square kilometers. The summit is also home to several large glaciers, including Massive Glacier, the largest glacier in the Sawatch Range. Similar to Elbert, Massive offers a highly rewarding hike without any technical hurdles, but still extends the experience with more distance at peak elevation. The peak boasts 5 separate peaks that rise over 14,000 feet, about 4,200 meters, along a 3-mile, about 5.8 kilometers summit. Its proximity to Leadville, ample parking, and hassle-free permitting make it an ideal training peak for trail runners and hikers preparing for bigger goals. Mount Massive has a rich history. It was first explored by American explorer John C. Fremont in 1845 and named by early miners who believe it to be the highest peak in the area. Compare Mount Kilimanjaro with Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa and one of the 7 summits. It is 19,341 feet, 5,895 meters, above sea level and would therefore be the second highest peak in the United States if it were actually located there, unlike many of the other peaks on this list. Conquering Kilimanjaro does not require professional climbing skills or heavy backpacking. Africa's highest peak is a high-altitude trek that is fully guided and supported by a local climbing team, making it a very accessible climb for even those with no experience and average fitness. The 3 non-technical peaks on this list, Mt. Whitney, Mt. Elbert, and Mt. Massive, are typically climbed in a single day. If you can climb America's tallest mountains in a day, you're certainly capable of climbing Kilimanjaro. You just have to stretch that effort over a week and acclimate yourself to nearly 20,000 feet of elevation.